Shake well. Welcome to Make a Path Presents. Wait, that's a little rough. Welcome! Let me start over. Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we got a full, no, it's not a full, it's a update for the Walking Dead comic collection. Now, if you're new here, what I like to do is once a year I do one big badass complete Walking Dead comic collection video, and then every 3 months I do an update video showing off what I've got in that time frame, and also maybe some tips about variant covers for the Walking Dead, and also to introduce you to some new titles that are piquing my interest. And then you guys can help out down in the comment section by telling me some new titles or old titles that you just found out about, and maybe that's something I'm interested in picking up or trying next time. Now, if you want to know about the collection videos, that's the most heavily requested video in all of 2016 on this channel. But just to give you a little update, after this video, in a day or two, we'll do the Spawn review, the figure review. That thing's awesome. Even if you're not into Spawn, that thing is really awesome. And then we're going to do the Walking Dead collection video, the complete one as far as the figures, the statues. If you guys want that separated into categories like figures, shirts, statues, let me know down below. If you just want a long 30-40 minute video showing off the entire Walking Dead collection, obviously I can't combine everything. I have to separate the comics at the very least, because that would take 2 hours to do everything probably. But you guys vote down below how you want that on this channel, in sections, in parts. Sections and parts are the same fucking thing, Ronnie! You vote down below. Let me shut up and get into the first victim here. No, not the victim. The Walking Dead, issue 100. Shake well. It's better than before. Scrap that. We're recording over again because I read some of the issues that I haven't read previously, and now I have some new opinions. So let's just dive right into this, okay? Starting off with issue 100 variant. Again, I don't know how I'm going to splice these together, so I'm just going to do them all over again. Here we go. Issue 100 variant. This was in the Mega Box, and it still blows my mind that people are buying this for more than $60, because you could just order the whole Mega Box for just under 60 bucks. This, the shirt, the figure, the pin, the keychain, you can get it all instead of just paying more, a lot more for this comic. And it's still available now. I'll put the link down below. It's the new Skybound quarterly subscription service box. They're going to send you something. I don't know what the themes are going to be, but if you're interested, I'll leave the links down below. But that's a really cool variant for issue 100. Let's show these off. These are the connecting covers for the Whisper War. This is going to be the second print for issue 157. You guys know I'm trying to get a complete collection. Every single issue, first print, second print, third print, and all the variants. Now here's issues 58. I got the doubles. I only got one of the second print. I don't need doubles for that, just for the first prints and the variants. Here's 159 doubles, 160 doubles, 161 doubles, and 162 doubles. And yes, frame them together and the covers will connect. Obviously that WD-40 I used didn't work because now my chair's squeaking again. Son of a bitch. Alright, moving on to the standard cover, 157. This is the second print. We have 159, got doubles of those. I don't think I have to show you guys the doubles, right? Here's 160, doubles of those. 161, got double of that as well. And 162, got double of that. The cover for 163 is insane. The variant, check that video out. It's probably up right before this one. Anyway, moving on, we also got these are reprints to the Walking Dead issue 1. This is a really cool one. Got zombies in the scar there. I love that. That's a Wizard World, I believe, Comic-Con exclusive. And here's another Wizard World reprint, issue number 1, with Rick and Michonne kicking ass. Now, real quick, I want to throw these in here because they are comic book related. However, I don't know what to do with them. These came in the BAM box. Betty Boop, maybe I'll save it for my daughter when she's older. I don't know what to do with that. Here's a Batman one. I don't read or collect the Batman comics. I have no interest in this. The Kiss one. They are signed. Here's Red Sonja. I just want to put this out there. I don't know if I'm going to buy any Dynamite comics, but stop that. Maybe you guys like it. I don't like it. Give me your thoughts and opinions down below. Same thing for, like, I have really strict standards for comic books. Like, if I pick up a comic, I don't give a shit how good the story is. If I skim through it and you put an That was the Krampus bell that fell. How ironically creepy and cool is that? We got this blizzard coming. It's going to kill us all. Everyone's batting down the hatches. Is that the right phrase? For the next 3 or 4 days right now. And they always freak out down south when it's snowing. Up north, you get 2 feet of snow. I'm going to shut up. But anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, if I'm flipping through a comic and in the middle of the comic you have an ad, I'll put your shit down. I will not support a comic book that puts an ad in the middle of the story. That's one of the biggest reasons why I support the hell out of Image Comics, because there's no ads. Like, when you read this, Southern Bastards, The Walking Dead, Outcast, when you read all the Image Comics, you read the story, you're in the story, there's nothing that's gonna, you turn the page and boom, there's an ad for some stupid Spider-Man comic or some stupid this or that or some subscription thing. You don't get any of that bullshit. Ads are always in the back. That is a must for me. I know I'm a picky bitch. I will not buy the single comics that have a square box down here like Marvel does in DC where it says free digital download of something stupid. I'm not messing with that. I love the artwork, the simplicity of it, but I'm not like a comic collector just for very small few titles. Anyway, here's Marvel variant. This is in the BAM box, I believe, and this is from Star Wars Vader Down. This is cool though. I will put this in my collection. Let me just keep it moving now that I rambled. Here's Southern Bastards. I highly recommend this story, and there's a really cool variant cover right there. I don't want to say anything more. Read it. It's a realistic, down to earth. There's no superheroes. It's just a cool story. Definitely interesting. Check it out. But here's Paper Girls #1. Now, you guys know I love Stranger Things, and so many people said, dude, get this. It takes place in the 80s, 1988. But, Paper Girls. Girls are not as interesting as, boys and men. They don't fight as well. They don't, they don't work as hard. Paper Girls. Plus, imagine me sitting down all tattooed up, sitting there like, yeah, I'm a badass, flipping open my comic book of Paper Girls, right? So, after I got over my sexism, I'm just kidding, but seriously, people said that this is kind of like Stranger Things, and I said, what the hell, I'm going to check it out, and I read it last night, and it's actually really, really cool. It's really interesting. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Brian Vaughn's writing. There's some stories that I just grit my teeth, and it's because it's just so damn simple. It's just too simple. There's some shit where the story builds up, and it's one of those cliche moments, and they just plop it in there. Like, I don't know, it's just too damn elementary. But then there's those moments where he has some writing that it's fun and interesting and entertaining, and this is definitely in that ballpark. This is a win. The one, We Stand Together, something like that, I think that turned me off completely to a lot of his writing because there was so many cliches in that, and I hated how it was such a short story and it felt forced like hell. We're going to get to another comic that's like that. But anyway, Paper Girls is about girls that are like paper boys, but one girl becomes a paper girl on the block, and then that opens up the door for the other girls to become like paper girls on the block. So they deliver newspapers, hence Paper Girls. I never knew that before the comic, and I always wondered, what the hell is Paper Girls? You know what I mean? This is interesting as hell, and I'm really hoping I can get my daughter reading this when she gets a little bit older, because I think she'll get a kick out of that. Here we have Outcast 21. I'm a bit negative this go around for the comics. Here's 22 because Outcast is another one. I feel like we're chasing our tail, Kirkman. Get to the fucking point. Like, here's the thing with Outcast. I know there's the TV show, and I'm starting to get paranoid thinking, well, yeah, they're going to chase the tail because they can't reveal anything because the TV show's coming, you don't want anyone knowing what's going to happen on the show. So now it's the stories, it feels like they're stalling, waiting for the show, and I hope that's not the case, and that might not be the case, but it feels like that. We went through 3 issues where we didn't do anything. We just, hey, where's this character? I don't know. Let's search for him. Oh, look, we ended up right where we were 2 issues ago. So this is getting a little frustrating, but I will say 23 feels like we are starting to get past that, okay, we stalled enough, we're going to go into the story. And I will say, there's a big mystery. Who are these people? What is the possessions? And I'm kind of hoping there's something else. Like, I'm hoping that's the first mystery, and then after that, there's going to be more mystery. Get to something. Give us some bit of information. Take us a different direction. Leave the mystery, but do something with the story additional. That's what I'm hoping for, because if we had another 5 issues of what we had for the past 3 issues, I'd probably drop it. Anyway, here's 25 of Nailbiter. Here's another one. Again, negative. 26, 27, 28. Now this is where we get negative. I enjoy the shit out of Nailbiter. And again, I said this in a few different videos. They're hyping it up too much. This is about a serial killer, a town called Buckaroo that creates serial killers. And they keep hyping up what creates the serial killers is going to change the world. And I said it before, I'm like, man, be careful, you're hyping this up way too much. Well, I'm going to spoil something right now. They blow up everything in this issue, and then they announce at the end of the issue, they're like, oh, by the way, we only have 2 more issues and we're done with Nailbiter. The story's over. And oh, I know it might seem like it's a forced ending because sales are declining, but trust us, it's been ending the whole time. And I say that out of frustration as a fan of the series, because I don't believe you. I believe the sales were dropping, and you thought maybe you can get to issue 50, and you realized you can't, and you gotta cut dead weight and move on to other projects. So they just blew everything up. And I'm not kidding. I don't mean like they figuratively did something. I mean they literally just set chargers everywhere and blew everything up. You know what I mean? So, yep, there's Nailbiter. Obviously, I'm going to read the last 2 issues, but I feel like they had something really interesting that they could have springboard off of with a town that creates serial killers. You could have literally went anywhere with that story. You could have taken that story and went to a different town. You could have had, you know, these cops knowing that, okay, these created serial killers, and then have them on these missions to go hunt, like, serial killer bounty hunters. That might not even have been the main story. You could have just made that a part of the story. Yeah, that's frustrating as hell, and I just don't buy it that they always plan to do 30 issues, because why didn't you just say that? Maybe it's a sales thing. Maybe you don't tell your, you know, fans, because that way they think, you know what I mean, you're going to keep it going. Here's Moonshine. It's a new issue. Awesome cover. This cover alone made me interested, because one of my favorite times, my favorite eras is during the Prohibition. This takes place during a Prohibition, and it's about bootlegging. The guy goes out to a small town. Someone makes some really good liquor, and he wants to pick them up and have them work for his mafia boss. Some shit happens where it looks like there's a werewolf, and there's heavy implications. If I remember correctly, it's been a couple months, that there is a werewolf. So imagine that, in the country during the Prohibition era, and there's werewolves out there. So that's the story that it feels like, and I haven't checked to see if there was issue number 2 yet. There should be by now, and that's on me. It totally slipped my mind, but it's only because I'm so busy. The story was really cool, so it's not like the story was shitty or nothing. Moving on up, here's Hillbilly, and yes, we're going into some negatives. Man, I don't want to be too negative, because here's the thing. Hillbilly, I found this artist during Big Man Plans. Love it. It's a short story. It's only 4 issues. Really awesome art, cool character, cool story. I would have loved to have 40 issues of that character. But anyway, this is neat because at first I thought it was neat because each issue is a mini story, and you have the same character's backstory and all that. You got a guy who has the devil's cleaver, and he hunts witches. That's it. And it's far out there, but it's awesome with the art and the story, and I thought it was awesome because I read the first one, it did his backstory. I read the second one, it was hunting down this witch or something. I missed the third one somehow, I can't find it. And then I picked up the 4th one, and I thought this would be a fun little mini story, and I think the frustration immediately set in because you have to set up the bad guy, and then you have to have the bad guy meet the good guy, then you have to dispose of the bad guy all in one, you know, one regular sized issue comic. It's not going to work every single time. I think this is a great idea, but he needs to start doing parts, you know, 2, 3, 4 issues with one story that's connected to one bad guy, because it's too simple. There's a cursed instrument. Some boy finds the instrument. He plays the instrument. This guy kills the demon, and boom, he walks off. And that's it. It's too simple. There's not enough meat. There's not enough there to pique your interest for what's coming up. I don't want to read another issue where it's like, hey, look at this guy. He's, you know, possessed because of this thing that happened. Oh, look, the good guy killed him. Let's move on. Imagine doing that 50 times back to back. I feel like that's going to wear the audience real thin. So if sales are slumping for this, I think you have a good thing going here. But start thinking about doing 3, 4, 5 issue arcs or something like that. In my opinion, if they want it to continue, it's got to get a little more complex, because it's just far too simple right now. It's like a children's book. It's that simple, like a violent children's book. Anyway, but I love the idea initially, so keep it going. Here's Cannibal. This I love. Let's get to some really hardcore positives right now. First off, you guys know I'm a big fan of zombies, right? Now look at this cover. You have what appears to be a zombie in the backwoods of some like country ass, I forget what it is. Is it something like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but it's really like southern country. Anyway, you have this town, and what's so awesome is it feels like a combination of vampire plus a zombie, you know what I mean? Because you have the virus that goes around, it infects people, and they still act like regular people, you know what I mean? But they need to eat, they need to either drink blood, eat flesh, they need that, you know what I mean? They need to eat, they need to feed, and some of them have remorse, they're sorry for it, but they crave human flesh, and they gotta eat, and they gotta feed. So that's why I said it's like a vampire, a little bit of the aspects, because they need the blood, they need the meat, but they don't fly, they don't have an allergic reaction to garlic, you know, steaks, and they don't live forever, none of that bullshit. It's just a simple virus that makes them crave flesh. So it's kind of like a zombie, but they don't rot. So see how it's a little bit of, it's like the tiny aspects of both a vampire and a zombie. You might even be able to leave vampire out and just go strictly with the zombie. It's a little bit of that. Now I love that idea, and in issue 2 or 3, felt like the writing took a little, you know, side street down boring town, but then it picks right up, and by issue 4 I am reinvigorated again and totally interested into the story and loving it. I love that idea of like a soft, I know they call them like an alien invasion, but it's like a soft invasion where instead of being like a military invasion, they come and invade us without us knowing, like that type. Well, this is like a zombie outbreak, but it's like a soft outbreak because they can hide among us, you know what I mean? But they're zombies, but they're not zombies, they're cannibals. I love that idea. Love it, love it, love it. Real quick, I want to show these off. These are just the Image Plus, and these contain 4 pages of Here's Negan, and it's going to be for 12 issues. Here is issue 6, we got issue 9, we got issue, 8, and then we got issue 7. I am only collecting them, throwing them in these plastics, nothing special. They're magazine plastics I got at the comic shop, only because of Here's Negan being in the back of them. And to be honest, I don't even know if I care at this point for these. I just want to buy the complete collection. When they're done, they're going to put it all into one, you know, supersized issue. And I gave Image Plus a chance at first, and I really liked some things they were doing. And by, what are we at, 9? By now, I don't care. Once Here's Negan is done, I'm going to drop Image Plus. Here is the official Walking Dead magazine for the fall of 2016. This is number 18. This is the comic variant cover. There's also a TV show variant. And that, again, that thing comes out every season, and it covers everything that has to do with the Walking Dead comic, TV show, board games, collectibles, video games, you name it. Here is, oh wait, I don't need to throw this in here. This isn't a comic one, but it slipped in, so I'm going to talk about it. It's the collector's edition for the Entertainment Weekly, the ultimate guide to The Walking Dead. If you're a massive Walking Dead fan and you watch all the behind-the-scenes stuff, chances are you're going to know every single thing in here, so this was kind of just like a waste of money. I thought they were going to have some fun facts that we didn't know about, but if you keep up with it, and you're active, on social media, you'll know everything that's in there anyway. So, all right, finally we have the Men of Wrath. This was sent in a map mail, and this was also done by the same guy who is doing Southern Bastards, and it's a really nice story. I feel like they could have bulked it up some and added some emotional depth to it, and it would have been 10 times better. But with that being said, maybe they just wanted a short story, and for a short story, it was good. It was really good. But again, because of the size, parts of the endings feel a little bit rushed, because it feels like, okay, we got here, let's just skip everything and, kill everybody. You know what I mean? So, not saying that's what happens. I'm giving you the feel of how it feels like it ended. But the Walking Dead coloring book will end us here. This is the last thing I picked up that's a comic/book wise. This goes with the Walking Dead coloring book they released a few months ago, where you have Charlie Adler's art, and yes, he does a lot of heavy blacks. So if you're not interested in the heavy blacks, I don't know what to tell you, but I personally want the art to look like Charlie's art. And when me and my daughter color it, we can do something funky with it, or we can do something realistic with it. It all depends. So, if you're interested in this, you can find it at Walmart, online, Amazon, I think is the cheapest, or your local comic book shop. Never hurts to support local. All right, that's it. Again, just to let you know, we have the full comic collection update video coming right behind this in a couple days, and then the Spawn figure review. So keep an eye out for that. Don't forget to vote down below. I believe I mentioned voting yesterday. I'm going to shut up because it's already been long. Thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.